In the world of the giver, everything is planned. Every single choice is made for you. So what happens when that perfect plan is actually a death sentence? Today, we're diving deep into Chapter 21. The exact moment a flawless escape plan just shatters, forcing a choice between a smart, calculated strategy and a desperate life-or-death run for the border. Let's get right into it. Okay, so you have to remember, the original plan was basically a work of art. Jonas and the giver had spent weeks crafting this thing. It was this careful 2-week process designed not just to get Jonas out, but to slowly let all those memories he was holding bleed back into the community. It was supposed to be controlled, precise, and, as safe as possible. But you know how it goes, right? Even the most perfect plans are incredibly fragile. And on the very night Jonas was getting ready, making his final preparations, a single, completely unforeseen event just came out of nowhere and blew the whole thing up. Just like that, the plan was gone, shattered. There was no more time for careful prep, no more time for goodbyes. Jonas had to flee that night. He was forced to abandon the entire plan and run headfirst into a dangerous, terrifying, and totally unknown new reality. So you're probably wondering, what could possibly cause such a massive, sudden change? Well, it all comes down to something so simple, so mundane, a casual conversation at the family dinner table. A conversation that revealed a horrifying and very immediate truth. So picture this. It starts out so normal, just the usual family meal. Jonas's father, who's a nurturer, is talking about a tough day at work, and he casually mentions the committee made a decision about the baby, Gabriel. And then, in the same pleasant, calm voice, he says that he voted for Gabriel's release. Now, let's be crystal clear. We, and Jonas, know exactly what the community's chilling little euphemism really means. Release isn't being sent off to a nice, new family somewhere else. No, it's the cold, clinical reality of euthanasia. It means death, period. And this is the line that changes everything. The casual, sweet, almost sing-song voice his own father uses to announce a baby's execution, it's absolutely chilling. That's the final, horrific push Jonas needs. This isn't about his own freedom anymore. It's about Gabriel's life. He has to act, and he has to act right now. So, with absolutely no time to spare, no time to even say a proper goodbye to the giver, Jonas just goes. He begins this desperate escape into the total darkness, driven by one single urgent mission: saving Gabriel's life. And in this frantic blur of action, he breaks literally every rule in the book. 1, he slips out of his family's dwelling in the middle of the night. 2, he steals his father's bike. And not just any bike, but the one with the child seat. 3, he gently lifts a sleeping Gabriel from his crib. And 4, he pedals like mad for the river, leaving his entire world behind in the dark. Now, you'd think he'd be feeling pure terror in this moment, right? But here's the wild part. He doesn't. As he's escaping, there's no fear. There's no regret for what he's doing. There's only this deep, crushing sadness over leaving the giver. The one true, deep connection he's ever had. That's the thing he mourns the most. And as he crosses that bridge, it's like he's crossing between 2 different universes. He looks back at the life he's leaving, so orderly, so predictable, so empty of real feeling. And then he looks ahead, to a world that's the complete opposite, dangerous, painful, and for the very first time, full of real choices. The second he crosses that river, the game totally changes. Jonas becomes a fugitive. He's not just breaking a few rules anymore. He has shattered the entire foundation of his society. Every single thing he just did is a major crime, and the stakes are now, quite literally, life and death. I mean, just think about the rap sheet he's racked up in a few minutes. Leaving his dwelling after hours, stealing food, taking his father's bike, and the big one, taking Gabriel. Any single one of those crimes would be enough to get him released, condemned. And he did them all. So how does he even manage to get away? Well, his very first move as a fugitive shows how much he's already changed. He uses a memory, a peaceful one, and transmits it to Gabriel. But not to comfort him. No, he's using it to basically drug him into silence. It's his first time using memories not as a lesson, but as a survival tool. But escaping the town's physical borders, that was just the first hurdle. It's not long before a new and way more terrifying threat appears from the sky, and it's hunting them relentlessly. And we're not talking about little specks in the distance here. These search planes are flying so low, so menacingly close, that Jonas feels like he can almost see the faces of the people inside. The threat isn't abstract, it's immediate, it's personal, and it's terrifying. This creates a huge problem. See, Jonas knows from his training that these planes use heat-seeking technology. They don't need to see you to find you. Hiding in the bushes is completely useless if the plane can just detect your body heat. So what do? How do you hide from something that can feel your warmth? And this is where his training becomes the absolute key to their survival. It's brilliant. Jonas literally weaponizes the memories the giver gave him. He summons these powerful, vivid memories of snow and freezing cold and transmits them to himself and Gabriel, physically lowering their body temperatures until they become invisible to the heat seekers. And what's amazing, what's just so incredible, is that even little Gabriel becomes a part of the escape. He starts to recognize the sound of the engines, and this little baby becomes their lookout, calling out plane, to warn Jonas. They've become a real team, fighting for their lives together. This entire ordeal, this frantic escape, it's forging a whole new kind of strength inside of Jonas. This isn't a strength that was planned for him or given to him. It's one he's discovering himself, out of pure, desperate necessity. As the days turn into this grueling cycle of riding by night and hiding by day, something starts to shift. The planes don't come as often, and when they do, their search patterns seem, well, sloppy, less organized. It's the very first real glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, they're actually out of the community's reach. And this completely flips the script on what the memories are even for. The whole point of the original plan was for Jonas to release his memories, to give them back to the community. But now, in this new reality, he has to do the exact opposite. He has to cling to every single memory he has, just to survive. Maybe the biggest irony of all is that the giver had planned to give Jonas memories of courage to help him on his journey. But there was never time for that final gift. And it turns out he didn't need it, because you can't be given courage. Faced with an impossible choice, Jonas found a strength deep inside himself that was real, it was earned, and it was all his. So I'll leave you with this to think about. For Jonas, his memories were his most important survival tool. They were the one thing that kept him and Gabriel alive. It really makes you wonder, if your own survival was on the line, what memories would you fight to keep?